Let's now take a look at the questions that came under the sections of Indian history, art and culture, and current affairs. So let's start with the first question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1, there is instability and worsening security situation in the Sahel region. Statement 2, there have been military takeovers, coup d'etat in several countries of the Sahel region in the recent past. The options are Statement 1 and Statement 2 are correct, and Statement 2 explains Statement 1. Both Statement 1 and Statement 2 are correct, but Statement 2 does not explain Statement 1. Statement 1 is correct and Statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect, but Statement 2 is correct. Now, the Sahel region is one such region which has remained unstable for now a long period of time. The reason for this is the presence of extremist groups in this region. And because of this instability, many a times military coups have been hatched in these countries and military governments have taken over civilian governments. So for this question, both the statements are correct and Statement 2 is the right explanation of Statement 1. Let's take a look at the explanations. Statement 1 is correct. The Sahel region, which includes countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger and Chad, has been facing a worsening security situation in recent years. This instability is driven by the rise of violent extremist groups. Statement 2 is correct. The instability in the Sahel has also led to a series of military coups in several countries in the region. For example, there have been military takeovers in Mali, Chad, Guinea and Burkina Faso in recent years. These coups are a direct consequence of the worsening security situation, as the military has often stepped in to take control in response to the inability of civilian governments to address the security challenges. So for this question, the right answer was option A. Both statements are correct and second statement rightly explains the first statement. The next question reads as, which of the following statements about exercise Mitra Shakti 2023 are correct? First statement is, this was a joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. Second, it commenced in Ondh, Pune. Third, joint response during counter-terrorism operations was a goal of this operation. And fourth, Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. The options were 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 4, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 4. Now this was one question, my dear friends, which could have been solved with the help of the application of elimination technique. And if you are aware that exercise Mitra Shakti is not an exercise between India and Bangladesh, your job was done. It is actually an exercise between India and Sri Lanka. Therefore, option D turns out to be the right answer. It means second, third and fourth statements are correct. The first one is incorrect. This is a joint military exercise between India and Sri Lanka. Second, it commenced in Pune. That's correct. The exercise includes synergizing joint responses during counter-terrorist operations. The Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. So, the right answer for this one was option number D, which means 2, 3 and 4. Let's move to the next one. Which of the following is the author of the books The India Way and Why Bharat Matters? In fact, both these books are bestsellers and they are written by none other than the present serving External Affairs Minister of India, which is Dr. S. Jaishankar. In fact, I am carrying one of them, Why Bharat Matters. It is by Dr. S. Jaishankar and S stands for Subramaniam Jaishankar. So the right answer for this question was option D, Subramaniam Jaishankar. Let's move to the next one. Consider the following pairs. Now, here pairs are given between country and the reason for being in news. And the question says that how many of the pairs given are correctly matched. So the first pairing is Argentina, worst economic crisis. Second, Sudan, war between countries' regular army and paramilitary forces. And third, Turkey rescinded its membership of NATO. Again, You see that this was all over the news, right? Turkey has not given up on its membership of NATO. Therefore, the third pair is definitely not correct. What about the other two pairs? Argentina going through a worst economic crisis, Sudan experiencing a war between countries' regular army and paramilitary forces. Well, the answer is yes, these two pairs are correct. It means Argentina is definitely going through a very bad economic phase for several years. The crisis is characterized by high inflation, a high public debt, and a history of economic instability. The conflict in Sudan has escalated into a devastating war between the country's regular military and powerful paramilitary force, with grave consequences for the civilian population and the potential for further atrocities and humanitarian crisis. Turkey has not rescinded its membership to NATO. However, it has been in the news recently due to the opposition to Sweden's bid to join the alliance. So that's why you see for this question, option B, it means only two pairs turn out to be the right answer. Let's move to the next one. What are the duties of the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, as the head of the Department of Military Affairs? First statement says permanent chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. Second, exercise military command over the three services chief. Third says principal military advisor to Defense Minister on all tri-service matters. The options are 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3. Again, question which can be solved with the application of elimination technique. If you look at the statements, statement number 2 is incorrect. The duty of the CDS is not to command, rather the duty of the CDS is mostly for operational reasons. Got it? It is for strategic military advice. It is not for commanding or giving some sort of orders. For the sake of military advice, this office has been created so that strategic alliance can be established between all the three forces during war and peacetime. So statement 1 is correct. The CDS acts as the permanent chairman of the Chiefs of Staff Committee. Second statement is incorrect. CDS does not exercise direct military command over the three services chiefs. Statement 3 is correct. The CDS serves as the principal military advisor to the Defense Minister on all tri-service matters. So the right explanation for this is 1 and 3 only. Again, one question that can be solved with the help of elimination technique. The second one, or the second statement, is not correct. Let's move to the next one. Operations undertaken by the army towards upliftment of the local population in remote areas to include addressing of the basic needs is called its Operation Sadbhavana. In fact, it was launched in Jammu and Kashmir. The idea was to win the hearts and minds of the people. Operation Sadbhavana is a term used by the Indian Army to describe its efforts towards winning the hearts and minds of the local population in conflict affected or remote areas. It focuses on humanitarian assistance, developmental activities, and fostering goodwill among the local communities. Okay, so option C turns out to be the right answer for this one. Next question. Consider the following properties included in the World Heritage List released by UNESCO. Shanti Niketan, Rani Ki Vav, sacred ensembles of the Hoysalas, Mahabodhi temple complex at Bodh Gaya. How many of the above properties were included in 2023? Well, all of them are included in the World Heritage List, but the question specifically talks about how many of them were included in 2023. The right answer is that Shantiniketan and the sacred ensembles of Hoysalas were included in the list in 2023, whereas the Mahabodhi complex at Bodh Gaya and Rani Ki Vav had been already included in 2014. So the right answer for this one would be option B. It means only 2. Let's move to the next one. Consider the following countries: Italy, Japan, Nigeria, South Korea, South Africa. Which of the above countries are frequently mentioned in the media for their low birth rates or aging population or declining population? In fact, these are the countries which are suffering from labor crisis. If you look at the countries and apply some common sense, you will find that Nigeria obviously is a developing country, has an expanding demographic pyramid or population pyramid. So 3 cannot be a choice. That eliminates option B and D. Italy, Japan and South Korea are developed countries, and population decline is generally a typical feature associated with developed countries. That's why you see that 1, 2 and 4 turns out to be the right option in this case. Let's take a look at the next question. Which of the following are correctly matched in terms of equivalent rank in the 3 services of Indian Defence Forces? So the first matching is between Brigadier, Air Commodore, Commander. The second one between Major General, Air Vice Marshal, Vice Marshal. Third one Major, Squadron Leader, Lieutenant Commander. The fourth one Lieutenant Colonel, Group Captain, Captain. Now out of these 4, only third is correct. It means Major, Squadron Leader and Lieutenant Commander. Therefore, the right answer for this question becomes option D. It means 3 only. Let's take a look at why 1, 2 and 4 are incorrect. The first one says Brigadier, Air Commodore, Commander, whereas the real matching should be between Brigadier, Air Commodore and Captain. The second one says Major General, Air Vice Marshal, Vice Admiral, whereas the actual matching should be between Major General, Air Marshal instead of Air Vice Marshal and Vice Admiral. The third one, as I said, is a correct match. Major, Squadron Leader and Lieutenant Commander. The fourth one, the match that is given in the question is Lieutenant Colonel, Group Captain, Captain, whereas the actual match should be Lieutenant Colonel, Wing Commander and Commander. So the right answer for this question is D. It means only 1 of the 4 is correctly matched. D, 3 only. Let's move to the next one. Which of the following was the latest inclusion in the Intangible Cultural Heritage List of UNESCO? Chow dance, Durga Puja, Garba dance, Kumbh Mela. Well, the right answer for this was Garba dance. It is the latest inclusion. So, Gujarat's traditional dance form Garba has been included in the list of intangible cultural heritage by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization or UNESCO. The popular dance form is the 15th cultural item from India to make it to the UNESCO list. Kolkata's Durga Puja was the last one added 2 years ago. So the right option for this one was Garba dance or option C. Let's move to the next one. Consider the following airports: Doni Polo Airport, Kushinagar International Airport, Vijayawada International Airport. In the recent past, which of the above have been constructed as greenfield projects? Options were 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Another question which can be solved with the help of elimination technique. Now, for answering this question, you must know what is a greenfield airport. A greenfield airport is one which is built from scratch. It means no existing facilities were there when the project was launched. It starts afresh. When we look at the 3 airports, Vijayawada International Airport is not a greenfield airport because there existed some facilities in Vijayawada that has been upgraded with time. Whereas for Doni Polo and Kushinagar, no facilities existed. That's why they were greenfield, or they are greenfield airports. In fact, the government has in principle given nod to 21 greenfield airports in India, and Kushinagar, Donipolo happens to be in that list. So the right answer for this one would be option A. It means 1 and 2 only. Vijayawada International Airport, located in Andhra Pradesh, underwent significant expansion and upgradation, but it was not entirely a greenfield project. It involved upgrading the existing airport infrastructure to international standards rather than starting from completely unused land. So the right answer was option A. Let's move to the next one. Consider the following pairs. Bharatiya Janasangh, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Socialist Party, C. Rajgopalachari. Congress for Democracy, Jagjeevan Ram. Swatantra Party, Acharya Narendra Dev. Which of these are correctly matched? The first one is correctly matched. Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee was associated with the Bharatiya Janasangh, and the third one, it means Babu Jagjeevan Ram, was associated with the party called Congress for Democracy, whereas the second and fourth are not correctly matched. Therefore, the answer for this question turns out to be option B. It means only 2 pairs. C. Rajgopalachari was associated with the Swatantra Party, not the Socialist Party, while Acharya Narendra Dev was associated with the Socialist Party and not Swatantra Party, whereas the other 2 options are correctly matched. Next question. With reference to the Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of the British Indian provinces and princely states. First statement. Second statement. Defence and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. Which of the statements given above are correct? Yes, the Government of India Act 1935 envisaged a federation which consisted of the British provinces and the princely states. It was mandatory for the provinces to join the federation and optional for the princely states to join the federation. The princely states never joined it. Therefore, the federation that came into existence in 1937 was actually one which consisted of only British Indian provinces and no princely states. So that's why the first option, or the first statement rather, is correct. Whereas the second statement says defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. If we use some common sense, we'll understand that defense and foreign affairs are important agencies, right? They are important departments. A colonial government will never hand it over to a popular legislature. In fact, they were kept under the control of the Governor General and his council. That's why the second statement is incorrect, whereas the first one is correct. Therefore, the answer is A. Statement 1 correct, statement 2 incorrect. Let's move to the next one. Which of the following is a work attributed to playwright Bhas? Now, Bhasya was an ancient Indian playwright who is believed to have lived sometime between 3rd century BCE and 3rd century CE. Madhyama Vyayoga. This book is attributed to the playwright Bhas. It portrays a love triangle between a king, a courtesan, and a young man. So this book is associated with Bhas. So the right answer for this is Madhyam Vyayoga. Let's move to the next one. Sangbhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk who traveled to China at the end of the 4th century AD, was the author of a commentary on Pragya Paramita Sutra, Vishuddhimaga, Sarvastivada Vinaya, and Lalita Vistar. The right answer for this is Sarvastivada Vinaya, which is a kind of code for monks following the Sarvastivada tradition. So the right answer was option C. Sangbhuti is historically noted for his role in transmitting the Sarvastivada Vinaya, a significant Buddhist text related to monastic discipline, to China. The Sarvastivada Vinaya is a set of rules and regulations governing the conduct of monks and nuns in the Sarvastivada tradition of Buddhism. So this is what you have to keep in mind. The next question. With reference to ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? Nyayaputra, Shakyamuni, and Tathagata. The options were 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. None of the above are epithets of Gautam Buddha. The right answer is 2 and 3 only. It means option B. In fact, Nyayaputra, this name was associated with Mahavir or Lord Mahavir. Whereas Shakyamuni, it means the sage of the Shakyas. And Tathagata, it means one who has arrived or one who has just left, was associated with Gautam Buddha or Siddhartha. Okay, so that's why option B turns out to be the right answer, 2 and 3 only. Nyayaputra is associated with Mahavir. That's why it is incorrect. Next question, again match the following kind of question. An archaeological site is given, a state is given, and a description is provided. So the first matching is Chandraketugad, state Orissa, trading port town. Second, Inamgaon, Maharashtra, Chalcolithic site. Third, Mangadu, Kerala, megalithic site. And fourth, Shalihundam, Andhra Pradesh, rock cut cave shrines. The right answer for this is 2 and 3 only. It means Inamgaon, Maharashtra, Chalcolithic site. That's correct. Mangadu, Kerala is a megalithic site. That's also correct. The first one is incorrect and the fourth one is incorrect. In fact, row 1 is incorrectly matched because Chandraketugad is a site in eastern India which is famous for terracotta seals with Brahmi inscription. And the fourth one, Shalihundam, is located in the state of Andhra Pradesh. It is famous for historical monasteries, whereas the question says rock cut cave shrines. The other two are correctly matched. So the right answer for this is B. It means 2 and 3 only. Let's move to the next one. Which of the following rulers of medieval India gave permission to the Portuguese to build a fort at Bhatt? The right answer for this is Krishnadev Raya. He is the person who gave the permission. Let's take a look. Krishnadev Raya was a prominent ruler of the Vijayanagar Empire during the 16th century. He was known for his military campaigns and patronage of arts and literature. During his reign, the Portuguese sought permission to establish a fort at Bhatkal, which was strategically located for trade and naval activities along the western coast of India. Krishnadev Raya granted permission to the Portuguese to build a fort at Bhatkal, thereby allowing them to strengthen their presence in the region and engage in trade activities. So the right answer for this question was Krishnadev Raya. Narsimha Saluwa, Muhammad Shah III and Yusuf Adil Shah are not the right pickings. Let's move to the next one. With reference to revenue collection by Cornwallis, it's Lord Cornwallis, consider the following statements. Under the Rayatwari settlement of revenue collection, the peasants were exempted from revenue payment in case of bad harvests or natural calamities. Statement 2. Under the permanent settlement in Bengal, if the Zamindar failed to pay his revenues to the state on or before the fixed date, he would be removed from his Zamindari. Which of the statements given above are correct? Now, the second statement, logically, it is correct, obviously. But the first statement, if you look at that, the Britishers would never come up with a revenue settlement system which gives some sort of relaxation to the peasantry. They would never do that because the entire purpose of the colonial government or its existence in India was extraction of resources and collection of taxes. Therefore, the first statement is incorrect. Right answer for this becomes B. 1 incorrect, second correct. Let's move to the next question. Consider the following statements. There are no parables in Upanishads. Upanishads were composed earlier than the Puranas. Parables means short stories. Now, short stories are often used in Upanishads to convey a philosophical message. Therefore, the first statement is incorrect. Upanishads were composed earlier than the Puranas. It's correct. because Upanishads are actually culmination of the Vedas. So for this question also, statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is correct. Let's now try to move to the next section. This was history, art and culture and current affairs. Next we will take up environment, science and technology.